Welcome, everybody, people of all ages, all teams. It's the local soccer show, guys. We're live on a Tuesday night. Last night's Milan Weekly podcast was a banger. A lot of F bombs on my part. I promise I will keep them to a minimum tonight. Guys, local soccer show is brought to you by Milan Weekly Podcast. Guys, please like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. The super chats are on as well tonight, guys. Feel free to send us your questions. We have two great guests. One guest that's been on the show so many times, I think we might as well just keep him on as a regular. And the second guest, the second part of this dynamic duo, has also been on the show another time, and now they're combining forces, guys, for a fantastic project, a local project here in Montreal, something that everybody's super excited about. But before we get to that and we bring them in, guys, Milan Weekly Podcast and the local soccer show would not be possible without the help of Evangelista Sports, guys. Thank you very much to the men and women at Evangelista Sports at their Saint Laurent store, guys, in Little Italy. Please stop by, check them out. They have tons of gear for indoor, outdoor coming in the near summer. And guys, for the World Cup, they got all their World Cup gear. They have everything. They have the Azzurri Blue, guys. Hopefully we can use it, but the Azzurri Blue is present there at Evangelista Sport. Guys, and besides that, once you're in Little Italy, guys, it seems like tonight is a meatball sub kind of night. So pick yourself up a nice sub, have yourself something to eat in Little Italy. Check out Carmelo and his fantastic smile at Evangelista Sport, guys. He will serve you with great pleasure and honor. Without further ado, Presidente, let's rock and roll and bring in our guests. Oh, I'm on mute.
Yeah.
That's just the best thing to do when you have great guests like this. I'll start again, guys. I'll start again. Someone who's been on the show multiple times. You see the smile. You see that nice hair. He's wearing the FC Supra. He's the president of FC Supra, Mr. Rocco Placentino.
Hi everyone, how's it going?
Everybody's good, Rocco. Nice to see you. We know you have a meatball sub waiting and ready for you, so we're gonna speed through this. And in the middle of your screen, guys, the smile is there. We have similar hats on. I'm far better looking than him, but he's the chief brand officer for FC Supra, Mr. Paul Desbaillets.
How are
Paul,
you,
nice
sir?
to have you back on, Paul.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm wearing my colors just to be clear. Just to be clear here.
Just to be clear, you are wearing your colors. Yes, gentlemen. Gentlemen, FC Supra is a super exciting new project that you guys are both embarking on. Rocco, we picked your brain when we had you on with Jack talking about FC Supra. We're bringing in the big gun, the branding officer now. We're bringing in Paul. Paul, how did you get involved in this project?
I tripped and I fell right in front of Rocco, and he picked me up and he was like, "All right, Pete, let's do this. Let's make some noise." Actually, I'll put joking aside. Rocco approached me about the project that he'd been working on for quite a long time. This wasn't, all the information, everything comes out now, but this has been going on for very, very long time to make this possible. And we had the same vision when it comes to community and brand and what this badge means and what it can mean for the community here and the football community here in Quebec. And we worked out, how I think I could contribute to this project. And we said, let's go for it. Let's jump in. And so a few months ago when, we went public in September, we, Rocco on stage laid out, what we're going to do and what we're going to try to achieve with, the boys here in the province. and I think we're gonna surpass even our wildest dreams once that ball kicks off in April. So, I mean, that's the short version of how I came to be, and now hopefully my small piece will help put this project ahead of pace.
Guys, super exciting to see what you guys are going to create. I would be crazy not to mention this for you guys, but before we jump into more Supra stuff, we're talking about World Cup. It's going to be you guys are starting in April, and fast approaching 2020 summer 2026 will be World Cup 2026 in Canada, US, and Mexico. We had some qualifiers. I'd love everybody to know your thoughts on the qualifiers. Rocco, obviously we're going to hit you with Italy, and Paul will we'll give you some questions for the English there, and it's bound for them to qualify. They've qualified, and
Perfect record.
they're just gonna go through their same progressive championship or a tournament run where they'll win, and then lose in the quarterfinals.
Whoa! What are you talking about? You're starting. It hasn't been more than 2 minutes, and you're already going. Why don't we start off with something peaceful? And at least go Scotland, right? Qualified today. That's massive. Not since the end of the 80s have they qualified. So that's a really big piece. Now we'll see what happens with Northern Ireland and Wales. And you could actually have pretty much all the United Kingdom in the World Cup potentially. But you're already throwing shots. Look at this guy. It has been 2 minutes.
Absolutely, Paul. I don't hesitate. Right. It's exactly like if I have a plate of penne arrabbiati in front of me, I will not hesitate. I will jump on that shit. Rocco, let me pick your brain about Italy. If people are subscribed to Milan Weekly Podcast, I had quite a bit of a rant going on yesterday. I don't want to take people through that again. I'd love someone else's opinion. I'd love your opinion on what's happening with Italy.
I have to be completely honest, right? It's a tough period in Italian football, as we can see. Unacceptable to lose at home 4-1 against Norway. It shows you where we are today in the world of football on the national team side. And, it's still not done to qualify. And if we can't qualify with 48 teams, then we really know we have a problem. And my thing is, Steve, is, even if we do qualify, which I think we should, what's that going to do, right? I think we're going to walk into this World Cup and hopefully surprise, but it'll be out of luck, not out of talent, right? Because if I look at different countries out there and where Italy's at today, it's embarrassing. Sad to say, but very embarrassing. And the fact that we haven't been in a World Cup for the last 8 years, and now going on the 12th year of World Cup, which is the third one in a row. Going into a playoff is quite upsetting. And, but I like taking the positives out of everything in life. That's how I am as a person. And, maybe, winning this playoff is going to bring momentum to the world, going towards the World Cup. And maybe, Italian teams doing good in the Champions League and UEFA League will bring up momentum to make them do something at the World Cup and see what happens. But, we can't hide the fact that there's definitely an issue in Italy, and hopefully in the near far future they fix it.
Yeah, I'll have a follow-up question to that, but just to involve Paul a little bit more. All joking aside, Paul, like you said, undefeated English run in the World Cup qualifier. You've seen this before. They breeze through and they qualify. What happens to England once they reach the big dance, though?
Okay, so first off, you've sort of seen this before. You haven't seen a manager like what Tuchel's doing and trying to set these young kids straight. So again, I'm talking from an outsider. I'm talking as an armchair coach. But the way he's deciding who sits and who doesn't play, not based on media and not based on love from the country, from the English public, I think tells you something about what's going to potentially happen with this team. He's benching players that typically would not be benched or not playing. He's won every game. They've won every game here in these qualifiers, and like you said, it's these qualifiers. It's a mix, you have Andorra, and then you have. It's not enough to see where the English team is going to actually play and how they're going to play. But I think in tournament football, and Rocco and obviously people that have played the game might have a better grip on that. But tournament football, anything goes. We know that. And so if England is going to do what it's going to do, they could still crash out. I mean, let's be honest. It's not untypical of the English, of the three lines, to completely break our hearts. I mean, I go back to the Euros, just about some bad coaching decisions made at a penalty kick that, gave you guys some silverware and broke our hearts. So things happen in tournament football that change everything. And that's where on the positive side, I think for Italy, I think if you guys do qualify, I think things can change. Things can change very quickly.
Perfect segue, Paul. Thank you so much. It shows that you do this for a living. Segue to my next question for Rocco. So, Paul mentioned the little blip in this negative run for Italy was the Euro and the win at Wembley. Rocco, is that a smokescreen to a bigger problem?
Yeah, look, it's we put a Band-Aid on a big scab, and we just, it was a momentum, right? It's a smaller tournament. Bounces weren't our way. Austria's goal was disallowed. Like, there's so many different things that happened in that tournament that led us to win against those bozos of the English. But
what is going on here?
But in all honesty, look, at the end of the day, we celebrated like it was like a World Cup win, right? It was beautiful. And what bothers me, Steve, is our kids, they don't know what the national team is yet, right? And we lived the World Cup in 2006, and where we won it. But you look at the team of 2006, and you look at the team who won the Euro in 2021, whenever it was. You can't compare the players, guys. Like, it's like those days are over, man. Those days are over, and it's sad. It's sad because for as much as I want Italy to make the World Cup and to go as far as possible, because it's in our blood, but you got to be realistic in life. And right now we're not there, guys. Right now we're struggling against teams that almost never make the World Cup or don't do anything in the World Cup, right? And the second half, Norway treated us like Moldova, and it's sad. But look, like Paul said, it's a tournament, man. A tournament, anything goes, and maybe we'll get lucky again, because that's how you win. You won't win by talent, or you win by luck.
Yeah, huge factor of luck in there. And Paul, another question for you. So you see that England really, really does produce talent at a lot of their levels, and maybe if you could share with us, again, not purposely done there, but Milan Weekly Podcast, the local soccer show, we do focus a lot on Italian soccer and Serie A. I would love to know, yourself, with the amount of knowledge that passes through the Burgundy Lion in terms of EPL stuff. What's the secret sauce for England and creating and developing this talent at different age groups and being successful in at the national level throughout the teens as well as the senior level up until a certain point, of course?
Yeah, so that's a very hard question to answer. Okay. Second of all, I heard your joke. I'm not responding to this bullshit. And I'm sorry, I'm swearing. I don't care if it's enough of this goddamn meatball crap. I'm eating meatball sandwiches. Fucking England. You know what? No, listen. Hey, all jokings aside, the youth football. And so I had a question before you wanted to ask me one, and I wanted to ask you guys this, if you don't mind me flipping it around for a minute. Is it the young talent in Italy, or is it the coaching? Because the youth in football in general, when you're looking at least a lot of the teams that I'm watching in England, you're looking at what's going on under, the young guys in Canada. I'm not talking about this men's senior team. I'm talking about all these young. The talent level is off the charts. That means the coaching is on point. Clubs and organizations are working hard along with associations to develop. So is it what you see about to come into some of these senior teams, I think is absolutely phenomenal. And I think England is going to be reaping a little bit of that right now. And that's why a guy like Tuchel, and again, I know you asked me a question about the youth, but I think what Tuchel's doing right now, and you know, he acted like that at Chelsea too. I mean, that is his shtick, you know, like that is his, I'm going to take the bull by the horns. I'm going to calm things down. I'm going to parent where I have to parent. I'm going to lock things down when I need to. And I'll take the hit. You don't bother my players. It's my responsibility as an adult would, sort of in that environment. And I wonder and I'm sorry, because I'm asking you the question with Italy, because you look at some of the young guys that are playing in Italy, I think there's some mad talent. So what is it right now? Is it the coaching? Like at the senior level? So
Look,
bringing up, you guys answer that.
So it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think that right now, I think financially in Italy is a struggle. The resources of development is not what it used to be. Coaches, if you want to look at the coaches that coach in Serie A today and the ones that coached in Serie A 20 years ago, can't compare. And not to disrespect all the latest former players that became coaches. You know, I think the game changed also from Italian football. You know, Italy's a lot about tactics, and it's still, and they're never going to change that model. Unfortunately, that's Italian football. It's all about tactics. It's a chess game. But soccer is different now. It's a faster pace. It's you know, it's a lot more physical, a lot more on measure on mistakes, and you know, just you don't even notice the mistakes because it's so fast the game, right? So it's a bit of a mishmash between development of players and coaches. We're struggling, and everything has to be surrounded around money. And right now in Italy, money is a struggle, and we can't seem to produce. You know, to the likes of Portugal, Spain, England, Germany, like all these countries, and I'm using European countries because I watch a lot of European ball, but then we talk about Canada, right? And Canada's been investing a lot in the grassroots, and look at the upcoming coaches coming out of Canadian football, and look at the players, and it's a bit of a shift, right? But if you want to analyze tactically who's better, is it Canada or Italy? Well, no, Italy by a mile is much advanced tactically. But if you want to analyze on the individual and the physical part of it, Canada's a step ahead right now. And today, you know what, guys? I never thought I would say this, but I don't know who wins in a game, Italy, Canada. I don't know, you know. And ask me this 10 years ago, and it wouldn't even be a question, right?
Well, would you have said that Canada Wales would have turned out the way it turned out a couple of years ago? No chance.
No, at all. Like, I think that, you know, the North American, look, Canada, US, right? You don't know anymore who's better. Canada, Mexico, you don't know. So there's definitely something that happened here in North America or in Canada in the positive way, where right now Italy, and we're talking Italy, is not there anymore. And you talk about England, Paul, and you know, with all due respect, we joke around, but England's doing really well, man. English football, you know, not only it's exciting to watch, but exciting young coaches, really exciting young players. But why? Because they're physically strong, they're fast, they run for 95 minutes, they fight for every ball, and that's today's soccer, right? And at the end of the day, right now, Italy's is guys, they're years behind, but we're proving it because we haven't made a World Cup in the last 8 years, so we're years behind. And I don't know when we're going to come out of it.
And not England, but look at some of the British exports to Italy. Look how they're performing right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and and to add to Rocco's point there, Paul, and I say it, and again, this is just my opinion. It's rotten from top down and bottom up in Italy. So
Okay.
from the highest levels of the FIGC, you know, just their rules that they put in place in terms of like when you're purchasing a player, whether he's coming from another country or he's buying local, it was more advantageous to buy someone who's coming from abroad than to actually promote someone local. That already negative on the league itself, negative on the kids that are coming up in whatever primavera or whatever camp you're looking at, right? But and we look at the flip side, and we see a project like FC Supra who wants to stay local, stay inside the province, and we have a superpower nation like Italy who's basically opening up its doors and taking everybody else but the Italian players. And the game has changed. The game has changed so much that we're not producing soccer players, we're producing athletes now. Like Rocco said, we need guys who run 95 miles an hour, 95 minutes a game, and are ball retrievers and, not kick and chase guys because I have more respect for what they do.
No,
But,
just that's the base.
yeah, England was so successful because their brand of soccer was all that. And for me to put the cherry on the Sunday to this whole situation and to move on because we want to talk about the Supra, for me, Paul and Rocco, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I truly believe deep down in my heart that Italy has lost its identity. Italy doesn't know who they are anymore.
No,
They want to be a ticky tack team without ticky tack players.
no,
But
but
is that your coach or is that your association? That's the question.
look, guys. At the end of the day, Steve, you hit it. We're we're rotten from top to bottom and bottom to top, and in Italy, politics, guys, plays a big factor in everything. When I mean politics, I mean not soccer politics. I mean actual politics.
Yeah.
And it's very common in the world of football. But yeah, guys, look, it's quite sad to you name guys like Totti, Zambrotta, Pirlo, Del Piero, the Inzaghi. They don't exist, guys. I'm sorry. With all due respect to Tonali and these guys here, and it's not the same, guys. It's not the same. And these guys in the past used to like bleed. Like they would never lose to Norway 4-1 at home. And if they would lose 4-1 to Norway, there would be at least 3 Norwegians in the hospital. And those days are over, man. Those days are over. And and again, not with all due respect to Gattuso, because when Gattuso was a player for Milan or for a national team, he used to leave it all on the field. But it's not your answer to success with Gattuso either, right? So it is what it is, guys. But
Yeah.
I look at just look in front of me around the screen, which you just put, and I just feel like throwing up. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Is
So
it-
this is the path, right? So before we move on, this is Italy's path. They'll get one of these teams. Sweden and Northern Macedonia are two teams that we've crossed before and have punched us out of the World Cup. Romania and Northern Ireland would be two new opponents that we haven't faced in the playoffs. But I would love to know what you guys think. Who would he match up better against? Who do you think we have a better chance?
What are you, crazy? You're asking me if you have a better chance against Macedonia or Sweden? What's wrong with you?
Well, Paul, Sweden made it to the playoffs without even winning a game.
You're still asking the question if you have a better chance against Sweden or Romania or Northern Ireland versus Macedonia? Come on.
For me, it doesn't matter. My response to this, and I'll stick to it, as someone who bleeds blue when it comes to Italian soccer. Bring on whoever you want. They need to make it to the World Cup. Rocco, you?
Look, the one that scares me the most in all these 4 teams is Sweden. Every time we face Sweden, it's a big challenge. We can't forget Northern Macedonia. Macedonia screwed us in the last World Cup qualifications. They scored a goal. I remember the goal. We lost 1-0 in Palermo. I remember like it was yesterday, by the way. The ball skied off the grass and went second post. Anyways, but the one that I wouldn't want to face is Sweden. Any other team, I think that we should get through. But again, Steve, I'm saying because you asked me the question, but I don't trust Italy. It's not these 4 teams. I just don't trust Italy, honestly. But with what I've seen in the last couple of qualifying games, I don't know. I'm like there's no team here that can't beat us today.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's sad, very sad.
Yeah. So we'll put a button in this one and probably have another show and see what happens in March. But moving on, guys, important, like we said at the beginning of the show, FC Supra Fantastic project here in Montreal. Rocco, for those who have joined us late, Rocco is the president and Paul is the chief branding officer. Rocco, the last time we spoke, FC Supra was taking off. It was, day to day stuff, working in the background. Now we're starting to hit the pitch, right? FC Supra, super aggressive. FC Supra, super aggressive with the tryouts. I want to start with Paul because I want to know, from the branding and the marketing side, how did you guys position yourself for these tryouts?
It was as simple. I want to pretend this is rocket science, and it took a formula. Again, we're taking for what we are about. We're about community. So as the get-go, I sound like a broken record, but it is really us drinking the Kool-Aid and understanding what we're about. We've started in the community. We're activating in the community. We're talking to the community. We're inviting the community to these tryouts before we get to the second round. And the plan has always been, even when the team is going to be named, even though when we're going to kick our first football, from our pricing and our tickets to how we do our merch, to the collaborations that we do, to the partnerships that we create with the businesses here locally, it will all have a local taste and flavor and attitude, which is what makes Montrealers and boys and girls from Laval and Quebecers extremely unique in Canada. We will stand out on the game side, on the playing side, on the pitch side. That's where Rocco and obviously as the president, and Matteo and everybody on the sporting side and coaches they're gonna add their special sauce. But for us on the other side, right, when you look at a football club, there's the sporting side. Everybody works together, first of all. But what I mean by that, there's the sporting side, and then there's a few other humans on the other side of things that need to help gel it all together. And then again, continuously listen to the community, what they want to hear and what they want to see and how they're absorbing what we're putting out, right? And so when you ask me, that's a long answer to a very simple question. We've started in the community. We're going to be in the community. We're going to end in the community. And so we've started to put our money where our mouth is, if that makes any sense. We've said something. Rocco laid it down. He, put the flagpole in the ground, and we're going to have to prove it every day. And that's the other thing, right, Marcel? Like, I just want to be clear here. We haven't proven anything yet. We haven't, right? Like, this is just the beginning.
Nice. Well said. Rocco, on the pitch side, you guys visited pretty much on island, off island. Just off the top of my head there, you visited Laval. I think it was Blainville, Ville Saint Laurent, La Salle. You guys were stuck in traffic for some time, so tell us a little bit about how the tryouts went in terms of the visiting the different clubs, because there's a local club that represents those cities there that you connected with, and you were able to do that tryout there. Hopefully there's going to be one in the east in the near future.
Yeah, look, Steve, for us, and we did try and do it with RDP, and it didn't pan out, but we will eventually, of course. Like we're every year we're going to explore different areas of Montreal, Greater Montreal, and all of Quebec, right? What was good about all this, Steve, is that we worked with the clubs in a way where the clubs felt they were part of it, right? And we had their staffs work alongside our staff, not just holding cones and giving pennies, but actually helping with the identification and the planification of our tryouts, which was a huge success. And, we did it with 5 different clubs. We had AS Laval, we had Longueuil, we had Lanaudière Sud, we had La Salle, and we had, I'm drawing a blank on the last one. Who was it? Well, we have Lakeshore coming up. Saint Laurent, sorry. Saint Laurent, where I used to work. So the idea that we put forward was amazing. We did see some talent, some young talent. So, we can't wait to reveal once we finish round 1 how we're going to identify how round 2 works. But like Paul said, it's revolved around community. And I can't wait. Like, we're so busy, guys, that we're so overwhelmed with so many different things in the club today, where I can't wait to really let Quebec know what Supra is all about. And it is tough, right? It's tough. It's a period where, the CFL was finishing up. There was the Habs are playing and they're doing super well, even though they're on a losing streak right now. But like, it's the Roses were in the playoffs. So we came in the middle of, a tough time of soccer, let's say, but we're doing our best, and I can't wait to really get out to all the communities and let them know what Supra is all about. Who's Paul? Who's Mateo? Who's Nick DeSantis? Who's Rocco? Who's the coaching staff? Who are the players? We talk about the tryouts, and it was a little taste of what's coming for Supra for all of Quebec.
And if I could just add to that, sorry, Marcel, it's first of all, Adriano and Claudio, all these comments in the comments, they're amazing. First of all, they definitely are part of. You can tell they're ready to go. But the players, once people get to understand FC Supra's, the Supra's core and this DNA of what the football club wants to present on the pitch, and then not just seeing them on the pitch, but getting to meet and understand them as who they are as humans in the community. Man, oh man, I'm like, I got goosebumps just thinking about that, because that is one thing that I'll speak for myself, Rock. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but that is something I'm most excited about, is for that footballer to present who he is on the pitch, but then also who he is in the province. And I think these are going to be very exciting times for us.
Yeah, and a good question by Claudio. And it's a great segue, Claudio. Thank you. You should be on the show too. You're looking at this. This is something new for Montreal. It's not something that we do quite often in terms of open tryouts, where you're a professional club like FC Supra is going for a lack of better term, door to door, looking at talent in different areas of the city. Now, the coaching staff is in place, and I would assume I kind of know the answer to this question. But now that you see these, and you said you're moving to round 2, potentially, how many of these players that are trying out can potentially be a part of the roster to start the season?
Yeah, so I'll answer this in 2 parts. I think it's important. So currently in 2026, we won't have a reserve team. I wish we would have had a reserve team, because a lot of the players in round 1 were very young, and they would have definitely taken part of our reserve team. So we could have had a good chunk of players already waiting at the doorstep for the first team, but that's going to come in 2027. But surprisingly, there was certain players that showed some good talent, and it's one thing showing it in round 1. Now we show it in round 2. So from round 1, I would say, I don't know, between 20 and 30 players come to round 2, which is quite a high number, to be honest. Yeah. Now from round 1, let's say we bring it to round 2 and we have 20, 30 players. Is it 2 players? Is it 5 players? Is it 1 player? It all depends on the mix of players that we're going to be inviting to round 2 with these players that were chosen from round 1, see what that mix is. Then once round 2 is finished, we take those players from round 2, bring them into pre-camp. So it's a big step, right? So you go so if there's a player from round 1 or several players that go to round 2 and survive round 2, and then you come into pre-camp, well, now it's not based on one day. You're there for a couple of weeks. So it's pretty cool how we set this up, and I wouldn't be surprised that some of the players that were in round 1 do get a pro contract. Some of them were identified as very good players in League One in Quebec, and they're definitely gonna be at round 2, and then let's see what comes out of it in preseason when we start in late January.
Amazing. Let's go back to Paul. Paul, this weekend it's it's a brainchild of Milan Weekly Podcast, FC Supra, trying Milan Club Montreal, trying to get involved. We're picking the mecca of all games for Milan fans and Inter fans. It's the Derby della Madonnina this weekend. We're going to do a watch party together with FC Supra. Talk to us about how this idea came to life.
Well, we decided that it was important to represent Chelsea in this, and so to do that, yeah, you started this from the get go. So let's start talking Chelsea 2.0 with AC Milan. I did a little research. Okay, I did a little research.
Of course you did.
We have quite a history, sir. We have quite a history, AC Milan and Chelsea. Okay, we'll get into that jokings later. Honestly, this is a great opportunity. What we're going to be doing with the Supra, and this will be, which is even more exciting, is that we're doing the first one with you, is we're going to do a few of these to watch some football games around Europe, around Latin America. So it's not just going to be that are close ties to either myself or Rocco or Matteo, or for people, Coach Nick and DeSantis. Like, it's not just going to be our teams, but it's a great way for us to mingle in the community and a watch party. There's nothing better than watching a football team, two teams that you either have invested energy in or you don't, but you know that people in that room have that energy. It's a great opportunity for us to talk about the season tickets that are finally going to be, coming to light as soon as we can actually present them, talk about some of the plans that we have that are coming up in December and in January and so forth. It's a great one-on-one time. Coach is going to be there, assistant coach, sporting directors. So you're going to get, this is a very rare opportunity, I think, at least, for the next little while before. I mean, we're going to do this even when we're playing during the season, but and I know time will be a little more limited once things start to go. So this is a great opportunity also for people to get a little bit of one-on-one time while taking a bite of a delicious sandwich, having a nice espresso, checking out a football match at our game this weekend, to talk to some of the guys and to cheer on one of the teams. And if you're not down with either of the Milan clubs, well, then come for the energy, because I'm you know who I'm rooting for. It's been clear. It's clear. I'm an AC Milan guy for this weekend because of Chelsea. I don't give a damn, dude. It's 2.0, Chelsea 2.0. But but you got to find fun in it, right? That's the whole point. And that's the reason for these kinds of things.
Absolutely. And again, as much as Rocco's been on the show, it's a miracle because he is an Interista fan, and and I do like him because we've been friends and I known him since he was little. Rocco, not that he's much not that he's much tall, not that he's much taller now, but all jokings aside, Derby della Madonnina is a special game for Milan and Inter fans, right? If we go back in the history of the actual derby, it was a little bit more hostile. Now it's more like a cugini derby. And for me, it's completely opposite of what you would see in Europe, right? If someone in Europe would be seeing this video and saying that me as a Milanista and Rocco as a Interista are going to sit down and watch this game together, it's almost unheard of. It doesn't even go into their brain. But we'll sit and we'll watch, and I commend you guys because it is very important, right? We've seen it in the past where it has not worked for certain professional clubs where they've almost had a disconnect from the community. You guys are getting a step forward and making this connection, right? So it is the watch party that will be happening this Sunday at Chocharo's. The game starts at 2:45. Guys, if you're part of the Milan Club Montreal, please reserve your spot. There will be people there. If you're not part of Milan Club Montreal, like Paul said, and you do enjoy calcio, please come and soak up the energy because it will be there. But Rocco, let's get it out there, right? So we're not gonna do this. We're both from the East End. We're not gonna do this sitting down all nicely and not be nervous. We need to put something on the table. And of course, my brain, along with ChatGPT, came together with this fantastic idea of a great normal, not psychotic, because Rocco has a psychotic part about him, but we'll talk about that not on this show. We need to put a wager in there, right? So I'm gonna do this. We're gonna watch the Derby della Madonnina together. The winner of the Derby della Madonnina will get from the loser of the Derby della Madonnina a vintage pitch apparel T-shirt of his choice that that person will need to wear, and then you can give it away, and I'll make sure to replenish that. And not only that, we'll also have a sign made that we're gonna hold up, and we'll do a post. I lost the Derby de la Madonnina. Roast me now, and that'll go on social media to be roasted by the millions and millions of Rocco Placentino fans because Milan will win. Milan will win. Milan is going to take this Derby de la Madonnina.
We'll see about that, Steve. We'll see. Can't
Guys,
wait. It's on. Yeah, we're good. I can't wait to roast you. I'm gonna do all the comments on roasting you.
good for you. Good for you. Guys, this is going to be an exciting thing. Again, reminder, watch party this Sunday, Chacharos in Saint Leonard. Guys, come and have a coffee. They have fantastic food. Guys, you'll get a Vintage Pitch t-shirt, Vintage Pitch apparel. Check us out, vintagepitch.com. There is some door prizes that are going to be given out by vintagepitch.com. There's others that's going to be announced later once you guys are there. That's great and fun. Paul, you did a great segue to something that a lot of people have been asking me about, and that's the season tickets for the Supra. There was the step to actually register and hold your place.
Deposits.
What's the next step for the season tickets?
Any day now, which sounds absolutely infuriating, I know, but we're just getting our details sorted. It really is. We don't want to come out, and even if we think we have everything understood and organized, things can still sort of throw us for a little bit of a loop as we're going in our first season, getting everything organized. But we just want to try and come out of the gate with as much working knowledge and have our price points done right and know what we're doing and what we're talking about, so we don't have egg on our face once we start to talk to people about how they can support us specifically in certain sections in seating.
I have my seat. I have my place reserved to the right to purchase these tickets.
Yeah, we're following the numbers, by the way. So as soon as you had deposited, we're following those numbers. It's not. We're on point with that.
Absolutely. Guys, 45 minutes in. I want to thank you guys. I know you guys a plethora of meetings today. Who has something waiting for him to eat? Who is English and he just doesn't know how to eat? Guys, I want to sign it off. I want to leave you with last words there before I sign off for everybody. We'll start with Rocco and end with Paul. Guys, just a final message to everybody for the watch party and for the call to action for the season tickets.
Yeah, look, the watch party this Sunday, November 23rd, Bar Chucharos. Come and say hi. Come and find out what the Supra is all about. Come and see Inter beat Milan. And yeah, for season tickets, guys, local team, represent, come and support. It's a team from here for a year, and we mean it. So can't wait to get the season started.
Paul,
how am I supposed to follow up from that? How am I supposed to follow up with that? It's perfect. He said it perfectly. I mean,
Paul,
honestly,
Paul, I'm setting you up, Paul. Like talk about Burgundy Lion, something. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about. We're not here to talk about that.
I'm giving you the chance. I'm giving you the chance. I feel bad for the English. I'm giving you the chance.
It's garbage. You know what it is? It's garbage. What we need to talk about is when Chelsea's going to play AC Milan again. That's what we need to talk about.
Absolutely, Paul. Paul, I'm game, Paul.
You know
I'm game.
What I want to actually answer is that Claudio and Adriano on here. If you're in Montreal, I want to meet these people in life, in real person, because
they will be there.
Questions that I'd love to answer one-on-one. And as Rocco said, support us. We're going to support the community back, the football community back. We're going to have give back programs. We're going to be building stuff. You'll see. Like, this is not. We need you to support us so we can find what we need to go back into the community with the same support.
Amazing, guys. A special thank you again from Milan Weekly Podcast, Milan Club Montreal. Guys, thank you very much for coming on. I know you're super busy schedule. Guys, we're going to close it off with thanking Evangelista Sports again. Guys, check them out. Evangelistasports.com. They ship pretty much everywhere. Check them out on check them out on Saint Laurent. Like I said, have a nice coffee. Go see Carmelo and that fabulous smile, and he will serve you. Guys, and I can't forget my passion project, vintagepitch.com, guys. That is available at Evangelista Sports, guys. Wear the story. That's our tagline. We want calcio and soccer to be a story for everybody, not just something that you wear on your back. Guys, vintagepitch.com, check us out. And as always, guys, he's in the background. He's crunching the numbers. He gets us these guests. A special again thank you to Presidente Marcello. And guys, we're gonna sign off. He will be there. He will be there on Sunday. We're signing off. He's on the phone. He's making calls. He's making stock moves, or he's buying crypto. Thank you, Presidente. Buonasera. Thank you, Rocco. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, guys.
Forza Milan!
Forza Inter, Forza Supra.
Forza Supra.
Ciao, boys.